pretty much bruised by last year's. But if we are standing and we are surviving, I think it's that much more a responsibility on our shoulders to make sure that we take it 5 notches higher.
Hello and welcome to another episode of 8. My name is Sanjay Chakrabarti. I'm the founder of Tag8. Today's guest is someone in a consulting environment in KPMG. Thereafter, he worked for 4 years in GE Caps in the investment side. And today's interview is really something that even I want to know from him, which I get asked all the time. With so much time spent in consulting, why would you leave after reaching such a senior position? Why would you leave your job to start a business? I'm absolutely delighted to have with me my friend Nitin Tulpure, who is the owner of Sirona Diagnostic. Nitin, thank you so much for joining.
Hey, always a pleasure, man, Sanjay. Thanks for having me here.
Let me start with the first question. And it's your one breath question is, who's Nitin?
So I think just from a background perspective, I think I have always dabbled in multiple things all across my life. So education-wise, did civil engineering, not knowing or knowing very little about why I was going there. I think that's true for most of our generation. Went into the first job was into sales of computers and computer related, which I didn't like, and then ended up into investment banking, which is what I was. On the personal front, everything from music, from classical to Western classical to hip hop. So I and have taken up a little bit of gardening as a way to de-stress myself other than exercise. So that's me in a nutshell.
Wow, fascinating. I didn't know about the music side. So, that's something that we should chat up after this. So yeah. Nitin, Sirona Diagnostic, and that's really your passion right now. Tell us more about it in one breath. And I'm absolutely, kind of keen to know that what is the real differentiator between a regular diagnostic chain?
So I think I'll need to take you a little bit behind in time. So I think when we as investment bankers were looking at different industries, I think healthcare was probably the last one to get off the ground in terms of investments coming in. I think I was in GE Capital reviewing all sorts of business plans because GE one big side of GE is healthcare.
Right.
And most of my family comes from a big healthcare background. So a lot of my family are doctors. I'm the black sheep of the house who didn't manage to study enough to get into medicine. But it's somewhere in the back of my mind actually was a question that, this is the industry that from an India perspective is underinvested, and probably for the next 10 to 15 years, given our size of, demographics and the need for improving lifestyles and what have you, it will see continuous investments for the next 8 to 10 years at least. So that was the original thesis on which I started kind of getting deeper into this segment. The healthcare side was, or rather the diagnostic industry per se, was the easiest from an entry or a lack of entry barrier perspective. So we kind of chose that, and we said we will kind of maneuver our way through as we get into the industry. So that's how it kind of came about.
Got it. So, coming into now it's 6 years. Tell us anything that what's your biggest learning that you've seen, and given you had so much experience getting into the space, including now that I hear specific, in a way, domain understanding. What has really been your journey in the last 6 years, and that one learning that you could share with us?
So I think it has been a phenomenally enriching journey, if you may. Just because coming out of consulting, I think it's a completely different world, and I'm sure you realize it as you kind of get your hands dirty on the business side of things. But more importantly, as I look at the business today, I do think, as is any business, it's super competitive. And the range of people that come into healthcare is also as vast. There are different the segmentations in this business, unfortunately, and at various different price points as well,
Mhm.
which makes it that much more interesting and exciting. You asked me a question of how do we start to differentiate ourselves. So at the very basic level, it is probably a product, right? A blood test is a blood test, sonography is a sonography, and whatever is a whatever. So the tests are pretty much, then you start getting quality into it, then you start getting services into it. So we have kind of put both those two things together. So we have gone the services route, we have gone the customer route, and we have gone the quality route as well. Most of the people are known for the width of services, as in the SRLs of the world, because they have the number of tests, and of course they are industry leaders and therefore de facto quality leaders as well, right? So we said, how do we do things differently? Therefore we started, adding what we call as specialty clinics to this whole game, which means that only uh, post MD. So the way the medical world works is there is MBBS, then there is an MD guy or an MS guy, and then beyond that are super specialist doctors that get trained in specific ailments or
Right.
specialization. Right. So we said that we will look into those areas that give specialized treatments to patients,
Mhm.
and that should entwine with the core of what we do, which is diagnostics. So therefore, we looked at pretty much healthcare in a way that leads to most of your common ailments or popular or widespread ailments, if you may, which means that it goes into your lifestyle elements. So
Mhm.
this automatically started becoming a lifestyle related, disease come diagnostic services, which started to becoming a little bit of a unique proposition because it's not something that people have thought through a little bit. So what we have pretty much done is a cardiologist and a nephrologist, which is your kidney and your heart disease are the most rampant, unfortunately, disease
Mhm.
elements in India today,
Right.
and that is what we're trying to cover. The other element that we are trying to go after is the endocrine system, which is your diabetes and your thyroids and what have you, your hormonal issues, which because of again the lifestyle issues are becoming very common issues in India's population.
Got it. So really the first question is how much of it is automated and it doesn't really matter. You will still get the right results, and how much of the human element could really create a challenge, and how do you ensure that that doesn't happen?
So yes, there is a lot of automation in terms of equipment. So there are sides of the business which are automated, but end of the day, the blood is drawn by an individual, it is processed by an individual, the result comes out through a machine, right? And the issues are really across that entire process chain, that you can have mistakes done over that entire process chain, right? So a lot of times all the mistakes that happen are in that process. So the question is, because it's not necessary that the blood is drawn right at the center or in the lab where it is taken and where it is processed. There are 15 people in that throughout the process where the sample is kind of passing through, and therefore the error rates pretty much happen in that logistical side of business rather than purely processing side of business. So not all tests are similar. So
Mhm.
the question really is, somebody needs to see through data to understand whether, sometimes the blood is not drawn properly and therefore the results are not correlatable. So somebody has to sit on top to see that, are all those results correlatable? Is there an issue? Did somebody follow protocol while taking, for example, 12-hour fasting? If the 12-hour fasting is not done properly, the results kind of get skewed. So somebody has to sit and finally see through that data, saying that listen, this looks a little bit funny, this doesn't look. So the pathologist's role cannot be undermined in any which way just because it's a automated system, so to speak, right? So all of that is where you still need pathologists to come back, sit, figure out what is going on, figure out, make sure that the machines are working properly or throughout now. So I don't know if that kind of gives you a sense that processes have to be kept. And this is where KPMGs and the consulting world kind of help you because they help you think through processes in a far more structured manner.
So, Nitin, last question really is where do you see Sirona in 8 months from now and 8 years from now?
I think last year was a wake up call for most of us, right? For rather all of us. And I think I count my blessings to say that I survived. Mind you, a lot of people thought healthcare is the biggest booming sector and so on and so forth. But we never did COVID test or we were never in the COVID game, so to speak. So we were as affected as any other business probably was. We faced
Interesting.
pretty much a shutdown at time. Yeah. So we were not going to the horses and going to the races with during the COVID times. We were as affected as anybody else was. So the question really for us was, how do we get back on feet? Would we get back on feet? So we all started, as any other business would, saying that would we be able to get back on our feet? Uh, Luckily, we were able to. Luckily, I think the response coming back on feet was decent enough for us to keep ourselves there. But I guess what I was getting back was it was pretty much a deja vu kind of thing, saying that if this were to happen, we have seen the worst. I have survived. Now that I have survived, I think it's my job to make sure I take it, 5 notches up. So I think what it helped me to revitalize and kind of push my energies to growth into the fifth gear very quickly. So what we have done is we've pushed. So all this time I was pretty much a little bit conservative in my growth mode. I think it's made me a sudden realization that I need to push forth. I've got all my building blocks in place, and so 8 months, to answer your question, we are looking at putting my third center up. 8 years, I think that's the compounding that we would like to see.
Thank you so much for coming in absolute pleasure, and really glad to hear the progress that's being made.
Yeah, no, absolute pleasure, man, Sanjay. It's always a pleasure talking to you. So thanks again for having me here.